Good afternoon, and welcome to the Benchpress from the Palatial
Palatial
Studios here at TSU. My name is Scott Wallace, and we have a full program on us, but I can't do this by myself, of course, so I'm going to introduce you to my guys. First of all, the Nostradamus Radio hasn't missed a game yet, so he's the Kyle Ripken of Radio 2. That's Jason Sales. What's going on, Jason?
Another beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah, in the neighborhood. So now I can call you the what was the guy's
I'll
name?
be
Mr. Rogers of Radio
I'll
2.
flip my shoe and all that.
Yeah, you got to, and for you all that you're not here and you can't see it, but he's dapper today.
Very.
I'm used to him wearing cargo shorts and colorful socks, but he has on the tie.
I still got your colorful socks. I got that.
You can't get away from those socks. And of course, the Mac man, the Metro man, is in the house. What's going on, McKinley Young Jr.?
What's good, everybody? A beautiful day outside. Not too cold, not too hot. Perfect fall weather.
Perfect fall weather. Of course, that's how it is in Nashville. And of course, we are here live in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, if I was what I gotta say it right.
You got to say
I gotta say it right
know?
in Nashville, Tennessee.
You're in God's country.
Oh, God's country now. Yeah, because of I can't say anything today because of the headlines.
What we watched.
Yeah, CNN headlines about my city. We're with sports. Yeah, with sports. We don't talk about that, but a lot to talk about today. Of course, the headline of the day I want to talk about. This is very important to me. We had the executive director of the Nashville Sports Authority, Toby Compton, on a couple of weeks ago, and he hinted about some things coming on the horizon. And one big thing that's happened this last week is that the Nashville will host the 2016 NHL All-Star Game at the Bridgestone Arena, and it's all because Scott Wallace was getting cussed out and talked about that big, large place down there called the Convention Center. Because of that, the NHL decided they're going to, in 2016, bring the NHL All-Star Game here. Now, there has been playoff games at Bridgestone Arena. Of course, last year, Jason, you attended it. It was the women's Final Four. Mm-hmm. This is probably the biggest thing that's going to happen as far as at the Bridgestone Arena as far as sports are concerned. So this is a big deal.
Oh, absolutely. Like you just think about how many people from all over the country are going to be coming in to see that. You're going to have people coming from other countries to see this. You have, like you said, the women's Final Four here was a big thing, but I don't want to, downplay women's basketball, but it's still a little bit of a niche audience with women's basketball. And hockey is, too. It's definitely a niche audience. It's probably, it may actually be number 5 on the sports landscape in the country, but like I said, you got international guys coming in playing. You already know there's going to be a big fan fest that entire weekend for it. The skills competition is always something cool. I'm not a big hockey fan, but I do like watching skills competitions. See who can hit all 5 of the targets in the goal post, and the fastest skater, who's got the fastest wrist shot. All those are cool things, and like you said, that Music City Center is going to be having some things, and when they do things like that, it's usually free to the public. So for hockey aficionados and guys who just think sports are cool and hockey's a sport, so we'll get into it occasionally. I'll definitely be down at the Music City Center when they have those events going on.
I'm ready. I'm a diehard, true believer Preds fan since they got here.
Yeah.
Going to watch some of the games that they have in there and the atmosphere. If you've never been to a hockey game and you think hockey is not all that great, you have to go down to Bridgestone and just anywhere you sit in there. It's live. You get all the fans. They involved. I love when we score so we can throw the catfishes on the ice and everything. So it's definitely big for the city, and I know the Preds are excited about it.
They are, and what Gary Bettman, who was the director or the commissioner of the NHL, he said now what they're asking for is an outdoor game, and I just can't see it being as prevalent or as great as it is in other cities, especially the top cities in the nation like Detroit and Chicago, filling up Wrigley Field, and even like some of the Canadian teams going into football stadiums and having 80 to 90,000 people watching the game. So he said that's probably the next thing the Nashville is going to want, but I can't see them playing at LP Field. I can see them playing at maybe at Vanderbilt or something like that, or at or maybe at the new baseball field, huh, Jason?
In our climate, even though they play those games in January, our January can range from anywhere from 15 to 50 degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
So right. You don't want people out there on ice and they're struggling to keep the ice frozen.
Yeah, that's what they had. They had issues in Los Angeles. They did it in Los Angeles last year, and they had issues.
Which made no sense.
Yeah, that's not a well thought out thing.
Yeah. Money move.
Yeah, but a great coup for the Nashville community. And, again, they are really stressing this hockey thing here. A lot of people wish that we had the NBA here, but I think that having this hockey team, and remember about 2 or 3 years ago, they were about to move out of here because of the attendance, but then Nashville rallied around it. A lot of people like even then Governor Bredesen and his wife made some great calls because they are season ticket holders. Also, the mayor of this city is a season ticket holder. Frank Wycheck, you can go to that. You can go to those games and see almost anybody if you want. Exactly. Who's who of Nashville at those games.
Right.
So great thing for Nashville. And 2016 is right around the corner, so they're going to be getting ready, and I'm ready for it just like Mac. But another thing that you guys, I know you guys want to get into this talk about this Metro game, kind of a little game y'all went to on Friday.
Best high school football game that I can say I personally called, but one of the best games I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people are saying, in a long time. I can't imagine another game. And I was listening to it on the radio with you guys, and I was at the edge of my seat. It was funny. I was at the Whites Creek game, and I was in the locker room with Coach Rainer Stewart and some of the guys, and they were all listening to it. Had my phone on, and they were all listening to it and excited. Just as long as you guys, you did a great job with it. But how I mean, can you explain? Either one of you explain the atmosphere there?
It was basically a game of runs. You can pretty much say Pearl started off fast. If they don't have a holding penalty, it's 21-0 before you blink, and then Isaiah Upton and Lennox McAfee. There's enough said. They put him on their back. Daniel Brown catching a lot of those bubble screens and making people miss. The receivers, East came to play. And you can definitely tell for everybody who said East Nashville hadn't played anybody, they played somebody on Friday and they came out on top.
Yeah, if you want to know how that game went, first of all, you should have been there.
Exactly.
That's first and foremost. Secondly, you can try to listen to us and we can try to give you what happened.
But it doesn't
find
do it
video.
Justice.
Somebody has video somewhere on Huddle or on something. Just find the video and watch it, and you can listen to us while you watch the video. But
we'll keep you up to date with it.
Words didn't do that game justice.
We was up there running up and down, going back and forth in the booth since we had the whole booth to ourselves with the exception of about 4 other people, and like I said, and it almost was a different outcome if Jimmy Farrell can throw that ball just a little bit further. I guess Isaiah being 6'2", 6'3", that helps a lot.
6'2", 6'3", and can jump out of the gym, and of course he's a basketball player, and the only time he's probably played defense in his career at East was that one play.
And then the end. Then he played like the end of right before halftime.
Really?
And maybe like a couple more times. Wow. But Coach Wake.
I talked to Coach Brian Wake the next day, and he still couldn't talk. And he was so happy about just us, calling in. He said, you a Maplewood guy, you calling me, it means a whole lot. And and just a great guy and a great person to talk to, and Jason, that's probably now one of your favorite coaches because of how he handles things around East Nashville.
Exactly, like I said, every time we've talked to him, he said that he didn't like the way things were handled in Metro schools. I'm assuming he probably didn't like the way it was handled on an academic standpoint to begin with, and then as a coach and how people interacted with student athletes. But Max said, and we said it several times on the air Friday night, once things didn't go his way, he didn't get down. He never let his team get down, and he turned it from a simplified game. He started playing chess, and I will 100% tell you that was the outcome of the game. Great quarterback in Isaiah Upton, great running back in Lennox McAfee, but Coach Wade, the moves he made and the chess moves he made, that was the outcome of the game.
In the second segment, we're going to talk with Coach Wade. I'm going to let y'all handle that one because
I'm still and it's kind of bittersweet for me. Pearl being my alma mater and stuff, but they have no reason to put their heads down at all because they played a tremendous game as well, and it was just 2 great programs, 2 good coaches, a bunch of kids who know each other, grew up around each other, and just went out there and left it all on the field.
And I've been talking about this from East since the first time I saw this senior class. And I said it, and Jason, you was there. I said that line, that offensive line, they were all freshmen at the same time. That offensive line, when they get to be seniors, they're going to be something to be reckoned with. And even on both sides of the ball, with Cartwright and Cothran and those guys really doing the job, Keyshawn Vaughn is averaging like 200-some yards a game. Did he get 200?
He only had 150.
Yeah,
you can tell. He got a little nicked up.
Yeah,
so you could definitely tell his running style. He was still running powerful, but he didn't have that extra explosion like he normally does, and that was a credit to East defense because every time he touched it or every time it was around, even on a fake, they hit him.
And the other thing was the. Like we said in the third quarter, the East offense is another reason Keyshawn didn't touch the ball. Their scoring drive coming out of halftime lasted 5.5 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, almost 6 minutes. So,
I've seen that before by East. I saw it last year when they were down to Maplewood 20-7 at the half. And Maplewood only had the ball 3 times the whole second half. And the last time, it was a desperation thing. So it wasn't like they couldn't sustain a drive because now they're playing catch up. And in the same way with Pearl Cone when they went down. I'm listening to the game, so I knew a little bit about it. With 26 straight points by East, the onside kick. Well, did they do a fake point? They did
fake punt.
They did 2 onside kicks. They recovered one. Pearl was ready for the second one. They did a fake punt with nobody in there. Thought that he would do it, and it was a perfect timing. Everybody bailed out. Now I feel sorry for the guy who caught it because he took a lick. Yeah, but
it didn't hurt.
It didn't hurt him because
for that first down, it didn't hurt.
Yeah. Well, we definitely are we're gonna talk to Coach Wade after this first break, but just a great game there, and we're gonna get into a lot of Columbia State talk and Columbia State University, Columbia State Community College Chargers women's head coach Bridget Goodnight will also be calling in that second segment. So we're going to get into some of that talk and some more Metro talk and all kind of stuff later on in the show. And we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we'll be talking to the East Nashville head coach and probably Jason's favorite guy right now, Brian Waite.
Yeah.
Here on the Bench Press. We'll be right back.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I'm 19 years old, and this is how I live united. I've always been kind of a computer geek, and I found a way to use those skills to help the homeless in my community. For people facing hard times, computer skills and a basic resume are so important. It may seem like a small thing, but it makes a huge difference in people's lives. So with United Way, I created a program where I work with the homeless. Together, we go through their whole job history, write a resume, and then save it on their very own USB drive. We provide workbooks and training certificates. I even budgeted for cupcakes so we can celebrate as a class when one of our people gets a job. That's huge. When somebody says, "Hey man, that job that you helped me apply for, I got it." That's what living united feels like to me. My name is Dale Pazinski. I help people achieve financial independence. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is Scott Wallace, and listen to Hour of Power, the Benchpress Sports Show.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese.
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving. because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Join us for a super weekend at Mount Zion on August the 22nd and August the 24th. On Friday, August the 22nd, it's a night of prayer and prophecy as Mount Zion welcomes Prophetess Marcia Morrison and Bishop William Murphy Jr. at 7 p.m. at our OHB location. Then come worship with us on Super Sunday at one of our 4 worship services as Mount Zion welcomes our presiding Bishop Paul S. Morton Sr. To close out the weekend, come out to an evening of baseball fun and a Christian concert featuring the Mount Zion Praise Team at Faith Night in Greer Stadium with the Nashville Sounds. Bishop Walker will throw out the first pitch. Festivities will begin at 5:30 p.m. Reset your schedules for a super weekend at Mount Zion. You don't want to miss it. For more information and details, visit MountZionNashville.org.
Brian Wade must be getting ready for Nashville Christian because he didn't answer his phone.
Didn't answer the phone.
We think that he may call it. He knows a number here, so we can have him to call in then. But just another, again, a great game. They have another great game this weekend. They're playing against Nashville Christian. They beat them last year, so something that they've already redeemed themselves against Maplewood for 2 years, and now they redeemed themselves against Pearl this year, and now they got to do it again this week against Nashville Christian. So another big game for them. So they play Nashville Christian, and then they play Lipscomb Academy in their last game at Lipscomb. 2
big games.
Yeah.
That's going pretty much. They can come out there and win them 2 games, then at least they know that they'll have they can mess around and get home field throughout the playoffs, and know that's one thing important.
Not throughout, because CPA.
Oh yeah,
is
I forgot CPA is in there with
CPA is in there, and I think Jason, you go to the CPA Maplewood game.
Yes,
I think they got a chance to beat CPA this year.
There's always a chance.
There's always a chance.
There's always a chance.
Nobody really outside of East Nashville and their fans really thought that they was gonna be Pearl.
Yeah.
So,
all right, we got a call on the line. We have Coach Bridget Goodnight from the Columbia State Community College women's team on the line with us. Hey, Coach Goodnight, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Glad that you're on the show today. Gonna talk a little bit about your team, and you had a scrimmage game at Bethel this Saturday. How did it go?
It went pretty well. We actually were able to play 2 games. We played Shawnee State first, and then we ended up playing Bethel. So really, really pleased with what happened, over the weekend. It kind of gave us a chance to knock off a little rust and kind of let the girls get to know each other a little bit better. And I think that, ultimately kind of came home with a lot of things that we need to work on, but definitely pleased with the games that we played.
You have 2 local players from Nashville on the team that everyone's excited to see, and Portia Hanna from Pearl Cone, and also Alexis Lane from Whites Creek. Talk about their progress this year, Coach, and what you foresee from them.
Yeah, well, both of those girls are definitely going to be assets for us this year. You have both of those kids that are just now, this will be their first year playing, after having sat out a year for both of them. And so that's kind of one thing that getting in the conditioning, getting fit to be able to play 40 minutes of a game and being able to run the floor, those are going to be some adjustments definitely for them. But Alexis, as we all know, and watching her through high school, is definitely a lockdown defender. She gets her hand on just about every pass. Mm-hmm. Portia is definitely going to be an inside presence for us just with her size, but also she's a very intelligent player. She knows the game very well, right. And they're definitely going to bring some things to us that are going to help us quite a bit this year.
Yeah, 2 players from last year's team, Coach, that you mentioned you wanted to talk about. They played all 40 minutes of each game. And Allison Wiley, and also was it Tamara?
Tamara Gordon.
Tamara Gordon. Mm-hmm. And Ashley, talk about how important to have somebody. You talked about Portia getting in shape and all that. Those guys got to be in shape to play all 40 minutes, huh, Coach?
Well, they are. I cannot say enough about these 2 kids. They if you want to see hard-nosed basketball and doing the little things well, being two kids that you can depend on, I just encourage everybody to come out and try to watch them play. There were a lot of games last year that these two kids, I can honestly say, they willed us in to a couple of victories late just by being hard-nosed players. Lamar Gordon led us last year with around 19 points a game. Wow. She was third in our region in scoring. And that says a lot about her ability because all those points are coming from a point guard, and you don't see that very often. So she was having to run our offense as well as being someone that we depended on to put points up as well. Allison Wiley, again, kind of a local kid from College Grove, Tennessee. She played at Page High School. Just somebody, as far as doing the little things that may not show up on a stat sheet, she's going to do them. She had quite a few steals last year, was averaging around 2 steals a game. Would keep the ball alive a lot for us on the offensive glass and gave us more chances to score than otherwise what we would have had. But yeah, those girls, when I say 40 minutes, they played a lot of games for 40 minutes and never came out. And I think those kids deserve a lot of recognition returning into a sophomore year. And then, of course, we're looking to them for leadership this year.
And Lamar, you have them with you right now, Coach?
I do. I have both Lamara and Allison here with me.
All right, Lamar, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And you heard what your coach said about you. We're going to be down there to see some few games with you all. I'm looking forward to seeing you play. What do you think about what the coach had to say about you?
I mean, yeah, but if it wasn't for her and my team, I wouldn't even be where I am right now. Because, I mean, for me to always take the shots that I take and my team not minding, because that's really a big deal. So for them letting me do that and them coming together and we still play as a team, I think that's a big part. They're like, yeah.
Who do you pattern your game by, male or female? You can who would you say that you play like so I can pub you up a little bit? Somebody whispering telling you.
I'm not really sure who I play like. I mean, I like Kobe Bryant, but I mean, I'm not. I just feel like I just play like myself. I don't really try to play like anybody else. I don't really know exactly.
Well, I like that answer because a lot of people, you got to be yourself, and so I like that answer. So I'm looking for, maybe I can, when I go see you play, I'll tell you who you remind me of. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
All right, Miss Wiley, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
All right. Now, your coach, again, both said it's great things about you, how great a shape you in. Talk about what you're looking for from your team this year.
I'm looking forward to winning more basketball games and becoming more of a team and just playing hard every game, every possession, and that's about it.
All right. Now, tell me now, everybody's raving about your coach's name. Everybody here at their studio loves her name. How good of a coach is he? You can whisper it to us if you don't want us to hear.
How good of a coach is she?
Yes, ma'am.
She's a great coach.
You're already getting on the playing time, so you got to worry about saying good things about her.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be there, and we're going to come down there and watch you all play some, and very excited about seeing this thing and seeing this thing grow down there, and just looking forward to it. So, Coach, we're going to be in touch with you about some things and try to get down there and check you guys out some.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today, and we appreciate the work that you're doing to try to get our program on the map kind of on that end in the Nashville area. And we look forward to getting you here pretty soon. All
right, Coach, we appreciate it. Take it easy, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's Coach Bridget Goodnight and Lamara Gordon and also Ashley Wiley of the Columbia State Community College Charger. That's a lot of C's to say.
That's alliteration to the fullest right there.
Yeah. CCCC.
That's it.
Chris Carter twice.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
All right. Well, again, it was a good segue because now the former women's coach from Fisk University is in the house, Tony Thompson. We're just talking to Coach Bridget Goodnight. You have any things with you know Coach Goodnight of Columbia State?
Yeah, I tell you what, I really liked about it. I wish I'd have been in early scout when you was talking to her. She's been on all levels, and that's the nice part about it. So to get that experience and coming from able to have that opportunity, have a good Sweet 16 run, at the NCAA D2 level, to really have some good success at the D1 now with the JUCO level. That's great because now her kids not only can trust that, but when the players know that you got that experience and you've been there, it's kind of like when I had to play some of my guys one-on-one. You kind of like, okay, let's tie the shoes up. Let's see what you can do, coach. Okay, now I get that respect because now they understand exactly what the coach is trying to do. That's why the girls are going to rally around her.
Yeah, but I saw people dominating you.
Hey, that may be on the layup, not on the jumper.
And you come from Chicago. You didn't throw the elbows at your players, did you?
They going to get a couple fouls. You already know.
He fouling Janine Davis and fouling her hard, man.
Hey, that's what you got to do that, though.
Well, Janine from New York, she just got back up.
Hey, Scott.
Hey,
Scott.
And pushed him.
And thus why I had the best record in 25 seasons, baby.
Yeah, it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we're excited about seeing her play and talking about two local players, and it was a girl averaging 19 points a game. Well, they don't
point guard
as a point guard, but
and
see, we saw
All-American. That's a killer. Lost their All-American from last year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah, Sandra, she's gone. So to lose that All-American, then come back and redo that again. I mean, Coach Goodnight's doing some good things down there.
Well, we used to seeing girls score. My girl was Stefana Scott over at Fisk, and she averaged almost 35 points a game. Yeah. So I'm used to seeing females scoring like that. So I'm excited about that. In the house, we got guys late. I'm gonna have to dock y'all pay. The AC is in house. The assistant sports information directors, Chris Clark, and also Tiffany Berg are here, and they have been working really hard and trying to do their thing a little bit. And I have let them go a little bit.
Hey, off of that.
Yeah, take the assistant off and let them be sports information directors.
Off a few of them.
Yeah, a couple of them. But good to see them in the house again, and we are excited about what they're doing. But I did have some scouts there watching them, and they did a good job. So appreciate that.
You got to always.
I couldn't let me. I can't let them go all the way through it. But,
understandable.
They're in the house, and just great to see them. Chris, how you doing, man?
Good.
Just good. See that?
That's Chris. If you know Chris, you know he's just
good,
straight to the point.
Yeah. Now Tiffany's gonna give me a little bit more because now we didn't have her as a sideline reporter against that East game because of some technical difficulties. I'm gonna get there really early this time on Friday,
so we can make it happen.
So Tiffany, you here on the air a little bit. Tiffany, how excited are you about being on air this Friday?
I'm really excited. I was kind of upset that I didn't get to do it last time.
You were ready, weren't you?
Yeah.
I know, my fault. That's okay. I get you something for your birthday, make you feel better. I'm sorry. Yeah, but Chris is going to be going solo with the stats, so we're gonna have it set up. We're gonna look like ESPN on Friday, y'all. We'll have the double screens for the radio station, so you can go to commercial break and stuff. Then Chris is gonna be on the stats, so if you need to look at something, he's gonna have the stats right there. Then you're gonna have the sideline reporter. We try to do it big time a little bit.
Back to the bullpen for Jason.
Jason got caught on the left-hander.
We brought him out of retirement. We're going to have to bring him out of retirement a lot more.
Well, the thing is, all this thing working out because Jason's wife is having a baby, so we can't have him doing too much.
We can't have him doing
that
too
water
much.
breaking during the third quarter of a game.
Right. When we can steal him though,
I'm like Roger Clemens at this point. I'll wait till the season halfway over.
There it is.
They
come out.
They get paid the whole of
$22 million.
Go and get that big contract.
Yeah. But exciting game. We're gonna be at Overton for the McGavitt Overton game, and
baby.
It's gonna be. It's not that now. People are down in Overton about, but if you look at the record, they're 4-1 in the district, and also 4-1 in Metro. And so in the same record, now McGavitt, everybody talking big about McGavitt, but it's the same record. But we're playing at Overton,
exactly.
So they got a chance to be second place
in the district. Because right now their team in first place is kind of just running away with it, and they have I guess you would say they reaching the easier part of their schedule now. So this game on Friday is huge in playoff positioning as well as not just trying to get that second place. And who knows? With 2 games left, anything can happen.
All right.
Traffic on I-65, baby.
Around the corner.
All right, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. When we come back, we're going to have the men's coach of Columbus State University, CCCC, Coach Brian Penny Collins, on the bench press.
Nurse, I need you to apply pressure to the head wound until I can get to it. I'm concerned she's lost too much blood.
Oh, no.
You in the corner, who are you? You're not supposed to be here.
She's my girlfriend, Doctor.
You need to wait out in the waiting room.
Please, Doctor, I want to stay with her.
Look, she's been badly injured. So if you want to do what's best for her, you need to let us do our work.
Please, Doctor, she has to be okay. I didn't mean to do this. I love her.
Wait a second. You were the driver?
Yes, but I didn't mean to. I swear, we went to dinner. I was just buzzed. I only had a few drinks.
Just buzzed? Why didn't you tell us that? In that case, your girlfriend is fine.
Hey, sweetie. I feel great. You want to get out of here?
I can't believe this. Really, Doctor? She's really okay?
What, are you kidding? No, not really. Nurse, get me a suture kit. Stat.
Buzzed driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
This is Scott Wallace, and you listen to the Hour of Power, the Benchpress Sports Show on WTNTribune Radio.
I'm so glad we left that stupid party.
No joke.
Hey, baby, are you an overdue library book? Because you got fine written all over you.
Oh, barf. What about that girl with the hoop earrings?
Ridiculous. When she was dancing...
Megan, look out! Look out!
Oh my God, Becky. Becky, are you okay? My arm. I think it's broken. Can you bend it? It's already bent. In the wrong direction. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry. I only had a few drinks. I was just buzzed.
Really? Just buzzed?
Yeah, I swear.
Well, in that case, my arm is fine. Ah, that's better.
You're really okay? You're serious, Becky?
No, genius. I'm not serious.
Ow! My arm, it hurts.
Buzzed driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
This is Nnamdi Asamoah. I play football for the Philadelphia Eagles, but what I do off the field with United Way might be more important. I'm a volunteer tutor and mentor. Why? Because over 1 million kids a year drop out of school, and that's not okay. It takes 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes about the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be me, or it could be you. Studies show that if we get to these kids earlier, their chances are better, and kids who read well by 3rd grade are more likely to graduate. So join me in United Way. Suit up and take the pledge. Become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, because when a child succeeds, we all succeed. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Take the pledge at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way, the Ad Council, and the National Football League.
And we're back here on the Bench Press. And we are got a full house up in here. A lot of people up in this studio. It's all good. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Chantel Copeland out in the hallway. I like. See, y'all got to listen to the Bench Press. I mean, to Pumps and Politics. Yeah.
Listen to the Bench Press though first.
She's on there. Yeah, she's on there doing her thing, and we appreciate all the work, all of the interns, what they do for us, the Taylors of the world, and also the Mirandas of the world. But we have on the line coach, another CCCC coach. Yeah. Coach the men's team. Of course, he's no stranger to this show. Coach Brian Penny Collins. What's going on, Coach?
Man, what's going on, man? We sitting right here in my office. I got T.J. Dunnins and Jamonte Davis right here.
Oh, you got
the big guy.
Yeah,
big
you got
guy.
that, man. I'm telling you, y'all haven't seen him yet. Y'all haven't seen him in person yet. I saw him. I saw him in practice, and I saw him in the game, and they are the real deal. And Jamonte, of course, is a Hillsborough graduate. He was in a car accident as a junior, but he's really coming along now. Of course, he's a transfer of Tennessee State University. And also T.J. Dunnins, who is the number one player in junior college in the nation right now. He's in the office with Coach. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on? How you doing?
All good, all good. Is that Jamonte?
Yeah, Jamonte and TJ, yep.
Okay. Hey, fellas, now, I just got off the phone with Coach Goodnight, and she had a couple of her players in there. Now, first question I'm going to ask you guys, you don't worry about it because, Mac and I can put your coach in a headlock because we're older than him.
That's it. Yeah.
How good of a coach is Coach Brian Penny Collins, and how glad are you that you are at Columbia State University under him?
Yeah, he's a great coach, Got a lot of good things going on. And, of course, I've been knowing him for a long time, so, I've been knowing he was a good coach. But he's a good coach, and I'm really excited to be playing for him.
What about you, TJ?
He was an excellent coach. He got experience, so he knows what he's talking about. Like, he's been in our shoes, so you really got to listen to him.
Right. Jamonte, you played that game. The first time you played in a couple of years, I watched you play against Cumberland University, and you really came out and played a strong game. You had your family there and all that. How excited were you to play in that game, sir?
I was really excited. It was real fun for me. That was the most important thing, to go out there and have fun.
Now, your little brother's not your little brother anymore. He's about the same height as you. What grade is he in?
He's a senior this year.
And he's at Hillsboro?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Oh, man. TJ, the number one player in the nation, has verbally committed to Auburn University. How excited are you about this season and taking another step closer to getting that championship?
I'm real excited. I got to keep the level headed, keep grinding it out, and just keep pushing forward.
Now, first time I saw you play, and I kind of said this about you. The guys want to know who you play like and how you. And I said you got a little Scottie Pippen in you. Do you think that's a good assessment of yourself?
Yes, sir. Scottie, if you compare me to Scottie Pippen, that's excellent to me. I like
Right. Now you're going to Auburn, but this year is a very exciting year. Of course, we're going to be with you all, doing some things with you all, and you just in Atlanta, in your hometown. How was it there when you went there this past weekend?
Oh, it was great. It's always good to play in your hometown. I had my family, a couple family members there. It was awesome.
All right, now, Coach. Now you the coach now, and then you got these guys. You got all these athletes playing, and you beat a 4-year school, and you went down to Atlanta and handled your business. But you're always looking. What are some of the things that you think you need to work on before the season gets started?
We just got to continue to grow together as a team. We had a practice today where that was pretty much what the whole end of practice was about, being together as a team and not sweating the small stuff. If we can just have, use what God gave us, 2 eyes and 2 ears, and use one mouth, we're going to be all right. If we continue to do that, I think the talent is here. I think we have a good system in place, and now it's all about just putting all that, executing our game plan, and I think we're going to have a chance to be special this year.
Hey, TJ, this is Mac. Tell me, how important is it y'all going through that long run last year and just coming up a little short from getting that championship? How important is it for you coming back this year, being a leader, to try to help lead your guys to this time bringing that ball back home?
It's very important because we came up short, and I felt like we could have won it last year. But we have more talent this year, so it's really important. We just got to stay together as a team, and we can't nobody stop us.
Jamonte, this is Coach Tony, buddy. How you doing today, man?
Doing good. How you doing?
Man, I'm glad to see you down there with my boy. I appreciate it. I know Coach Penny going to take care of you. Now, I'm going to ask you the question in reverse of what Mac just said a moment ago. How does it feel for you knowing that you came out of Hillsboro, good program then, and I know Coach Penny just talked about it last week about, they had some pretty good size at the school last year, but this year you guys even bigger. And how does it feel finally to get a point guard, a kid like TJ with that ball in his hand, a lot of time in these guards that can get you the ball inside and do what you do now?
It's different. Like at Hillsboro, I was doing whatever I wanted to. But now I got to calm down a little bit. I can't take the shots I'm used to taking, and it's just a different process for me.
Well, it's good. I look forward to seeing you guys put some big numbers up there this year. I don't look forward to seeing you being too quiet. I still think, the way Coach Penny going to have you inside out, taking those baseline jumpers and stuff. I expect a big year from you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you all don't understand. He's 6'8", and he can play the 3 or the 2.
Yes, he can.
And because he can guard.
He can play the 1, too,
yeah,
really.
He can guard all those positions. Also, T.J. Dunn, it kind of reminds me of that team. I can't remember what year it was the Bulls had when I watched them, when they had 5 guys the same size and then a 7-footer that they could switch on everything. I'm acting like I'm a coach or something like that. They can switch on everything.
We had Tony Kukoc.
Yeah, they had Kukoc. They had Kukoc and they had Ron Harper. Right. And they was able to switch on everything. And I think they can score. It's no doubt in my mind. They got guys. They got a great point guard. They got a good inside play. They can score. But Penny, that defensive end that you have, that's what's going to be the easy part for it. What you think, Coach?
I agree. That's something we work on every day. Every single day we work on defense. And that's got to be something we hang our hat on this year. We will be able to guard people a lot of different ways and put a lot of matchups out there. So and we'll play everything, every defense that you can think of. We'll probably do it at some point this season. But the ability to be able to switch and have long guys out there to protect the rim is definitely an advantage for us.
They're very long. All these guys with long arms, and all that. But then you said there's some guys, a couple of guys on that team. You have TJ, and TJ, of course, everybody's gonna be looking at him. But then you have Jamonte. You got both Jamontes. You got another TJ on the team. But you got a couple of guys out there getting to see play. Talk about those 2 guys a little bit, Coach.
Well, Justin Pryor, our point guard, he is special, man. We love to watch him play and grow. We put the ball in his hands, and he can create a play for anybody at any given time on the floor. His recruitment is really going well this year, and we're just excited to see where he ends up and after the season. TJ Cromer, the other TJ, we call him Block. He's a really good shooter. He's doing a good job for us this year. He had a great weekend this weekend. He also had a great game against Cumberland as well. So he's going to continue to grow as a player and as a man. And we got so many weapons on the floor that, we can be beat now. We can be beat. That's why I think it's so important for us to continue to grow every day. But we have so many weapons on the floor that any given night we might have somebody else have 20.
Yeah, hey, Coach Penny, I was going to ask you that. Speaking of that, in the conference, who do you see this year is going to probably be you guys' biggest foe?
You got Southwest down in Memphis. Every year they're going to be good. Southwest out of Memphis, Walter State, who went to Hutch last year in Kansas with us. Motlow State, who's right up the street. They got a lot of good local talent. Terry Holt and the kid from up the street a little bit. Barford, they got a good team. A couple of those Cheatham County boys. So, we got our work cut out for us. The league is going to be a lot better this year, but, my expectations are high, and I expect us to take care of business.
Yeah, we're very excited about coming down and being a part of this and doing our thing, and how we're keeping a little under wraps right now, all the things that we're going to do for you. But of course, we're going to do the radio at some games. We're gonna say that we're gonna do it all games, but we're gonna say some games right now. And of course, how does the team feel about that? When I went there again, he introduced me to the team. I guess because Penny knows that I have an ego, so he introduced me to the team, let me talk, and I talk like a Baptist minister. So, but how excited are the players? Let me ask Jamonte and TJ how excited they are about their families if they can't come to the game to be able to hear them play on the radio.
That's a big part too, because my family is used to watching me play, so they never really miss the game. So this will be a good thing for them, so they can always hear. They don't have to listen to me tell stories on the phone all the time.
What about you, TJ?
Oh, it's really good because I'm like 4 hours away from home, so my family can't make every game, so they can at least listen out to the game.
Hey, TJ, this Coach Tony, was that kind of the big decision on the kind of the commitment to Auburn there?
Yes, it had something to do with it. Yes, sir.
All right. So, TJ, Jamonte, and Coach, we appreciate you guys taking out some time. I know Coach want to get back in the gym. I know he wants you guys to grind and all that stuff. I'll be down there this week to check you guys out, and looking forward to this season with you all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. And let me just sum that all up. We are very excited, and it's not going to be no some games. It's going to be all games.
There you go. I want you to say that.
I like that.
It's just a matter of time. We got to get this paperwork together. We got a big meeting on Thursday that we're going to drop the whole Wallace Media Group with the president, and she's excited about it. And we just right now we're in a position that we're about to try to make this thing where Wallace Media Group is not only Columbia State basketball, but Columbia State athletics. So it's about to be a big deal, and I'm just looking forward to what's about to come for everybody in both parties.
All right, Coach, and we are very excited too. And I got some assistant sports information directors. They already asking. They're on the high school level, and they're already asking me, what can we do to help out with this Columbia State thing? So even at the high school level, they're excited, and that's something that we can talk about with Columbia State too, to let them know there's some high school kids that may be coming to your school that's going to be helping us out a little bit.
Oh, it's gonna be big time, man. I can't wait.
All right, Coach, we can't wait. We're gonna talk to you later. Of course, we're making this a weekly thing, man. So you have to sit in a restaurant or something and do the Coach Penny Collins show.
Oh yeah, I love that. You know, I love to eat. So make sure
we pushing it. We pushing it now, Penny.
All right. All right. Take it easy, y'all.
All right, bye.
All right, Coach Penny Collins, Jamonte Davis, T.J. Dunnins. And if you like basketball, and again, everybody in this room likes basketball, and if you like to see a winning team, now we used to have teams around here that are okay and all that, exciting and a little bit. But if you want to see a team that grinds it out, that can play any type of game you want to play outside game, you want to run up and down, you want to play slow, you want to play inside, they can do it all. And again, Jamonte Davis, I saw him playing a 2 and a 3. And he's 6'8".
Hey, I mean, that's just one of the privileges that Penny has when you have athletes that want to work on their game individually. You're not just having to worry about them when practice is over. That's all they do. They just come to practice and nothing else. They just from talking to these guys, you can tell that they putting in the work and that they're super excited and they're listening to their coaches, which is a problem for a lot of teams. A lot of teams have players that just think that they're bigger than the coach. And Penny's come down at Columbia State, changed the culture of the program, got the guys more excited, and bringing in guys, like you said, when you got 5 guys that you can switch on everything and your center can guard their point guard, like that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough to match up with.
Yeah. I know, Scott, you were talking about last time, just going back to the Columbia game, and when we had him on TJ on the phone a week or so ago, and you asked him a question about, did you guys go in that game intending on winning?
Yeah, Kurt, I asked Pride that. Yeah.
And what was his answer? He was like, hey, man,
we all Division I players.
So when you got kids that's got that attitude or basically got that swag, it's one thing to have the attitude, but when you got the attitude, the swag, and then the work ethic to go behind it, and you got a coach that's also kind of like that,
right?
Man, you're going to be tough to beat.
And you guys going to like Pride. I mean, they're talking about T.J. Dunnins, of course, Jamonte Davis, and some other guys on that team. But he is the one that stirs the drink. And he's He's left-handed, tough as nails. You're gonna be the guy that you're gonna be like, oh, that guy right there is, that's the one right there. And TJ's gonna get his, Jamonte's gonna get his, and some other guys. But Pride is the one that's the key to that team. Right. We're gonna keep it going a little bit. We're gonna have to go into a break pretty soon. But Metro football a little bit. We're going to talk with the Aces first because I know you guys want to talk about that game again. But you all were out at Maplewood, Chris and Tiffany, and there was homecoming and a lot of hoopla was going on and all that. Talk about how the game went and what you guys did and how important it was what you all did on Friday. Chris?
For the game, it was Maplewood pretty much had fun with that game. Pretty much was making fun of the other team. First off, they had Antoine Edmondson in that quarterback.
Right, for the first time.
At the beginning of the game. He ran a wildcat a few times, and then all of a sudden they put in freshman quarterback Raymond
Smith. Mm-hmm.
And he ended up throwing a pick. So they put in they actually put in Corey Adams at quarterback. Yeah. And he threw a touchdown pass to Antoine. So that was fun. But what we did on Friday night, we tried to make it a little bit more like professional. Mm-hmm. We made a Facebook page and pretty much kept everybody up to date. And Tiffany worked hard in getting the pictures in on time so I can post it on Facebook. It was a pretty much fun night at homecoming.
Tiffany, you were more involved now when I wasn't there trying to hold it in there. How'd you feel Friday?
I got a little frustrated sometimes, but I just cleared my head and worked through it.
Yeah, and you all did a great job. I don't know if Travis was telling you, I was going back and forth with Travis like, man, this is great. I was looking on Facebook, and every time somebody scored or at the end of the quarters, you guys had a picture and a description up, and it was just a wonderful thing. And made people, when you do that, it makes people think they're there. So you really did a great job with that. So kudos to you all, and hats off to you all for doing that. And I'd have to be there for me to tell them to do that. How's that?
Hey.
I feel great about that.
That means they listening.
They are listening. They are listening.
Listening to what's being taught.
Yeah, and but you all 44-7 was the score. Maplewood came out and did a great job, but another TJ, our thoughts and prayers go out to him. TJ Turner got hurt his arm, and they had to get rushed to Vanderbilt Hospital. Of course, TJ is Division I prospect at wide receiver and cornerback. He's a transfer from Georgia, and I talking to his aunt. But she didn't want to divulge much what was going on Saturday. She hasn't got back with me. I said I wasn't going to bother them, to find out what's going on. But was TJ did you see him at school today?
Yeah.
Oh, he was at school. He had his arm in a sling or something?
Yeah, they had it in a cat, in a little thing, and a pillow.
Oh. Dislocated elbow is what I was told that it happened to him. But, he's another. I hope he's able to play basketball because I've heard about his basketball abilities too. So, but Great job, you all. Hats off to you all. And this Friday, again, you'll be at Overton High School and doing some more stuff. I'll be there for a little while, and I'm going to leave y'all again. I'm going to leave. My wife says she want me to take her out to the movies on Friday, so this will be my only chance for a long time for me to do that, so I'm going to leave you all. I don't know. Whatever she wants to.
That's it. That's the answer. That's the right answer.
I just go.
Most likely it's going to be Annabelle.
Annabelle, okay. Is that a good movie?
I'm recommending The Equalizer.
The Equalizer. Anybody else?
I'm with Jay.
I'm going to be asleep probably. Eating popcorn and... Yeah, but
you sneaking stuff in. No, well, never mind. No,
you can't say that on the air, man.
Yeah, the big purse. That's what my wife carries to the movies. She don't carry a purse no other time, but to the movies.
Jacket when it's 60 degrees.
Yeah, keep all the secrets under wraps now.
Yeah. But again, that game on Friday, and you talked on the break, talked to Tony about it. You all talked to Tony about it, about how great of a football game it was. Any other things that came out that you guys didn't talk about?
I mean, like I said, it kept us speechless a lot. So we was kind of trying to fill space and things like that because just some of the plays that was made and some of the calls that were made on both ends, it was just like Jason said, it was a chess match. If you like chess and you into that and you really trying to find out the strategical part of a sport, Friday was the game you needed to be because Coach Waite would make an adjustment, then Coach Brunetti would make an adjustment. Then they would come back, and the one thing that Coach Waite didn't want to happen, when Keyshawn finally got to touch the ball in the third quarter, they did a great job defensively to force them to have to make a play to get into the end zone. And like I said, great high school football. I truly believe that both of those teams have a real legitimate shot to go and represent Metro in the state championship, and I hope they do. So,
I think we came up with a new stat while we were there. I said we need to start keeping track of oohs and ahs plays,
yeah.
Because you heard the crowd saying it so many times, and we were saying it, we had to put the microphone and step away because it was like, oh my, whoa, what's going on? And the guys up in the booth with us, they were laughing because of the things that were going on. And, I mean, I don't even know who the guys to our left were because it seemed like they would be cheering for Pearl and then each would make a play and they do the same thing. And I think at that point they were keeping stats for some team, but it just got to that point in the game where, Max, a Pearl Cone graduate, and, I don't have any, ties to anybody. We kind of pull behind the East because, we've seen them for 3 years solid now. And I ain't going to cheer for Pearl. I don't care what you say.
It's okay.
But it was just at some point in the game, and there were several people down in the crowd that they were there just because it was Friday night and it was those two teams. And nobody went home disappointed. I don't care. Coach Brunetti didn't go home disappointed. Coach Brunetti didn't go home disappointed that night. I know none of the Pearl players probably were upset they didn't win, but I doubt anybody woke up Saturday morning feeling bad about what happened that night.
Pearl had him on the road for a minute, man. It wasn't like, like I said, it was a back and forth like Mac. If you got that chess game going and you think that you got checkmate, and all of a sudden you let the king out, and we still playing. Boom.
Yeah, what a great game. And, of course, I was at Whites Creek, and it was over in the first half. But, but I did listen to it. And, again, we were able to let some of the guys over there listen to the game too, and they were like, wow and ooh and ah were with you all. So what a great what a great time for Metro Sports to have a game like that. And again, I'll say this about East Nashville. They're the only school in Metro without a home football field. Mm-hmm. Just think if they had a home football field.
And they that's why I told Mac during the game, I said, this isn't anything new to them. This is a home game. When Maplewood played the home game at Vanderbilt, it wasn't anything new to East. It was get on the bus and go to our home stadium.
Right. Wear the white, wear the red suit and all that.
Bring the flag.
That's it. They brought the flag.
No mercy, no quarters.
That's it.
Right. Yeah, it's just a great thing for Metro Sports to have that, and kudos to Vanderbilt. This is the second time Metro's team has played their home game there this year, and of course Maplewood will be there 2 more years. I think they have they are going to be there 2 more years. So again, just another great time in the East. Now for the Metro Bakers, done the WTNTribune Radio Metro Bakers dozen, they're number 1. And because they beat Pearl, of course, Hillsboro's probably saying, "What the heck? We was number 1,
Florida
we
State.
won."
And Florida State.
There you go. But
it's one of the quality of competition.
Right.
And
right.
At that time, when you playing one of the top teams in the state,
right,
and you go head to head, and you come out, and y'all both undefeated still.
Right. And then see next week. Now here's going to be the issue because. Pearl didn't move because, of course, they played East. They was a second and third ranked team, so they didn't move. But next week, now what if McGavick beats Overton? What you gonna do? That's going to be a question about that. We're going to talk a little bit about it after the break, but we're going to go on a break, and of course, the news will be done by Melody. I got it right this time.
It is.
I got it right this time. Melody Scales will have the news, and we'll be right back after a few messages on the Bench Press. We'll be right back.
We can make it better now. Come on, can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. We'll rope it up, cause we know how to jump. We'll roll it out, cause we know how to skate. We'll cut it down, cause we know what to eat. We'll swap it out, we eat healthy stuff. Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. Yeah, well come on.
Today's a good day to grab your kids and hang out with them for an hour. Dance, walk, play a sport, or cook a healthy meal. Because just moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your child healthier.
Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. We'll ball it up, cause we know how to hoop. We'll mess around, cause we know how to play. We'll drop it down, cause we know how to dance. We'll veg it up, veggie night and day. Can we do it?
Search We Can online to find doable tips and activities that you can use every day to keep you and your kids healthy. Remember, that's We Can. A message from the Ad Council, HHS, and NIH's We Can program.
You're listening to WTNTribune Radio, home of the Hour of Power, the Benchpress Sports Show. Tune in right here every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Central Time on WTNTribune Radio.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I'm 19 years old, and this is how I live united. I've always been kind of a computer geek, and I found a way to use those skills to help the homeless in my community. For people facing hard times, computer skills and a basic resume are so important. It may seem like a small thing, but it makes a huge difference in people's lives. So with United Way, I created a program where I work with the homeless. Together, we go through their whole job history, write a resume, and then save it on their very own USB drive. We provide workbooks and training certificates. I even budgeted for cupcakes so we can celebrate as a class when one of our people gets a job. That's huge. When somebody says, "Hey man, that job that you helped me apply for, I got it." That's what living united feels like to me. My name is Dale Pazinski. I help people achieve financial independence. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
I'm so glad we left that stupid party.
No joke.
Hey, baby, are you an overdue library book? Because you got fine written all over you.
Oh, barf. What about that girl with the hoop earrings?
Ridiculous. When she was dancing...
Megan, look out! Look out!
Oh my God, Becky. Becky, are you okay? My arm. I think it's broken. Can you bend it? It's already bent. In the wrong direction. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry. I only had a few drinks. I was just buzzed.
Really? Just buzzed?
Yeah, I swear.
Well, in that case, my arm is fine. Ah, that's better.
You're really okay? You're serious, Becky?
No, genius. I'm not serious.
This is the TSU News Network, bringing you the news from Tennessee State University, Nashville, and the world.
Good evening. It is 5 o'clock, and for the TSU News Network, I am Melody Scales. Police continue to investigate the theft of 40 remains from 2 cemeteries in Knoxville today. News Channel 2 reports that a family quickly noticed that the urn of their loved one missing. Berry Highland Cemetery officials began searching others and discovered 21 had disappeared. The cemetery director, Fred Berry, says it is the death anniversary of some of the loved ones.
I'm a fourth-generation funeral director, been in this business for 30-plus years, and I've never seen anything like this.
Cemetery officials have put some new security measures in place to catch the thief. The Ellington Agricultural Center hosts the 22nd Annual Molasses and Music Festival here in Nashville. News Channel 2 reports that the event is a creative way and fun way to raise money for the Tennessee Agricultural Museum. The festival includes wagon rides, a petting zoo, and even a corn maze. Mark Gunther and his mule demonstrate how to make sorghum, which is molasses made in the old-fashioned way.
I love it on everything, and number one, I like a tomato sandwich. You put a little peanut butter on it and a good thick slice of tomato. No mayonnaise or Miracle Whip, whatever you like, no salt and pepper, and let me tell you, that's a good sandwich.
With several patients being treated in the U.S. for Ebola, the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention issued several travel notices. The state of Tennessee has even taken matters into their own hands. Hospitals across the state are prepared for the disease. Even more so, the Tennessee State University has taken its own precaution. Iman Rattray has more on the story.
TSU is placing a temporary suspension on all university-related international travels to countries of Guinea, Liberia, Sierra Leone, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Nigeria. This also includes trips sponsored by outside organizations for both faculty and students. A senior, Desmond Perry, expresses his thoughts on the situation.
I actually believe that is unfair. It's a big shock to me. Didn't think that they would restrict Tennessee State students from traveling overseas because I actually had a big trip.
Perry had plans on traveling to Spain this week. Unfortunately, he will be stuck on TSU campus until further notice. Another student, Kyle Harrington, speaks out on the situation as well.
I think the precautions they are taking with international travel is good because you don't want other people going to places like Africa and contracting the disease and bringing it back.
The CDC has posted information about the Ebola virus on its website. No word on how long President Glover will have this suspension in effect. For the TSU News Network, I'm Iman Rattray.
Your forecast for tonight calls for mostly cloudy skies with a low of 48. Tomorrow we'll have partly cloudy skies with a high of 68. Right now it is currently 68 degrees. And for the TSU News Network, I am Melody Scales.
Thank you, Melody, for that news. And looks like we're going to have to stay in Nashville for a while, huh, Jason?
Yeah. I got to cancel all my presentations in Africa.
Man, I know. I was trying to get down to Mozambique, man.
Yeah. I'm going to have to stay around here. That's all right. But anyway, get back to some sports talk. We're going to get into some NFL talk. Of course, there were some NFL games yesterday and started Thursday. And, of course, to yesterday and, of course, tonight. But first off, let's talk about it and get it out of the way.
Glad I didn't see it.
Tennessee Titans.
Glad I didn't see it.
Lost to Colt McCoy.
Hey.
Nobody won.
No said.
No said.
I mean, first of all, you're looking at situation deep in the fourth quarter, Scott.
Yeah.
We got a timeout to use. We don't use the timeout whatsoever. Right. Get these guys to come down. They march down the field, man, and boom.
Yeah, and the funny thing, here's the thing what people not understanding about it. I watched the games and, I kind of analyzed a little bit. If you watch the game carefully, anytime that, for some reason, now a lot of teams like to go tempo, and Titans don't go tempo. I don't know, it's because touchdown Jesus or clipboard Jesus, what they call him. He doesn't know the plays or something because every play goes down to the last second. That means you can't make an adjustment. You can't call an audible because you're leaving the huddle at about 8 seconds left and you're breaking the huddle at 8 seconds. You got to run the play, and that's helping the defense out because they know you got to snap it. They're looking at their clock the same way you are.
And that's why the guys on ESPN were saying that they got they playbook is coming from kindergarten. They got A, B, C.
Yeah, it's
A, B, C. So you only got 2 or 3 plays the other team's worried about. And once they get you into a passing game, they know you're not about to run the ball. They drop back.
Yeah. So it was just ridiculous when I watched that game, and and then on the defensive side, defense played well, except for one person. I've been talking about him for 2 or 3 years, and I don't know why he's still on that team. Michael Griffin. I saw him get beat twice. I mean, beat bad. I mean, it was the first play of the game he got beat, and then the game with Garcon. I mean, he should have been down. It could have been a 25-yard game, and Garcon took it for 70.
Yeah. And he picked up the penalty.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, I didn't get to see the game. Heard the first drive on the radio, and sounds like I didn't miss much.
Yeah, you didn't. So, again, the Titans lost to Washington Redskins, and good luck this week. They play the Houston Texans this week.
Yeah, we're about to have this game tonight.
You're right. That's the only good thing for the Titans. They play on Monday night, so they'll have one less day to rest.
And then they get a bye week. Look forward to that.
They don't need that rest.
Yeah.
I got a question, though, Scott put out here. There's been such a hot topic this weekend. Is Peyton Manning, after breaking that record, is he the best quarterback of all time? You got some guys calling out, listening to Sports Talk earlier today, and talk about, his percentages. And one guy came on today, want to argue about him and Pretty Boy Joe Montana. And, the guys over at 104 pulled up some information. I was calling in today, and they measured his, his record versus Pretty Joe. And Peyton won every category except the touchdown.
Right, and people like to talk about those era things and this person of this era and that person of that era. All I know is he's good. That's all that matters.
And at the end of the day, I always thought that records was there to be broken, and once you break, they didn't question when Emmett broke the record, did they?
No.
Right. And I was listening to that same broadcast, and I'm very much a proponent of this. A win-loss record for a quarterback doesn't mean a lot because he is one person on a 53-man roster. Arguably, quarterback's probably the most important position in all of sports. You got a good quarterback, chances are you're going to have a good team. But if I throw 3 touchdowns, but my defense gives up 4 touchdowns, I lose. Everybody looks at me and says, Jason Sells lost the football game again. And it's unfair. And again, I can't say that, I definitely haven't watched all the greats. People still throw Johnny Unitas' name around.
Never watched
Bradshaw, didn't get to see those guys play. I don't know if they're the greatest quarterbacks of all time. The greatest quarterback I've seen, and I'm not a fan of him at all, Peyton Manning, he took quarterback into a whole nother level. He walks out on the field, and people try to emulate what he does now. He's like they said, he's a coach on the field. He's got the 3 of us could probably go out there and score a couple touchdowns in the game. Right. He's just gonna tell us, hey, I know neither one of y'all can run, but at 6 yards, turn around, the ball will be on you. Yeah. Make sure you catch the football.
That's all.
Yeah, and when he got to Indianapolis, and this is your back door, Scott, he got to Naptown, man. The coach was garbage.
That's how they got him.
Yeah. And as a rookie, he threw a lot of mistakes. He threw a lot of turnovers, but he turned it around. He took a team from the basement, and after that, It was Super Bowl bound, and then he got in one with Tony Dungy.
Right.
So you look at that, Jay, like you just saying, man, it's really crazy because on basketball, I got 5 guys to deal with. If I'm Jordan, I can put the ball. Really, only got to be 2 or 3 guys, really, because depending on the offense is kind of spread.
Right.
But on football, like you say, you got 11-man front, and you
got another.
you got everybody.
Yeah, you got special teams, got all kind of people.
You got 100 yards to run.
Right.
So different ball game, and then you got everything that lays on that quarterback's arm.
Right.
If he fumbles the ball, if he throws the ball out of bounds, if he miscues and receiver going long, it's his fault. And I think the other thing that the guys are overlooking, Peyton ain't supposed to be back playing.
Right.
That man came out of a major surgery.
Right.
3.
Neck surgery.
Yeah. And the doctors told him to quit. Archie even said, hey, man, I almost told my son to retire. You got enough money.
Right.
You already got a Super Bowl ring. What else you need to prove? And he's not only
The love
came
with the
back
game
and
is
played,
what he said.
but he's came back and been productive.
Right.
That'd been different if he came back and Denver was losing.
And you look at it, 510 touchdowns. And what's Peyton, 38 years old?
Yeah.
And like you were just saying, he looks like he's got at least 2 more years left in him.
Easy.
Is 600 out of the possibility?
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not because he got the rest of this season,
right?
Which he'll probably end up, another 20-some odd touchdowns, and then
right.
a couple of more years, 25. So it's not out of the question.
Right.
It really
probably
isn't.
got the next best quarterback out there is Tom Brady, and where is he at?
Yeah, he's struggling.
There's a ways behind.
Exactly.
And then I also I was hearing some guys talk last night about this record is probably going to be tough to break. Again, you got to average some crazy number over a span, a pretty long span to get to it. What's probably going to be the hardest record to break? Is it going to be whatever it winds up being? Say if he quits tomorrow and it's 510, is it that or is it Emmitt Smith's rushing record?
Yeah, that's I don't know,
because I think it
took him in a minute to catch Dickerson.
Right, but see the thing is about that, you don't have guys getting the 1,000 yards, right. And you don't have more specialists now. Back in then, Emmett carried 30 times. You don't have those guys a lot.
And
so
running backs, if you're a running back for 5 years in the league now, that's a
great,
success.
Great job.
Right.
Exactly right. And the offensive change, you went from the I formation into the Wildcat offense.
Right.
So you got a lot of guys that, if you go and play for a college team on the West Coast, probably 99% of the time you run a Wildcat.
Right.
And so everything's going to be spread offense, and you're looking to pass. I was listening, walked in the other day, and this fan was screaming, do we do anything else besides pass the ball? Do we know we got a running back in the backfield? That's
you're talking about who?
Talking about the Titans. The Titans game. But, but in general, most of the quarterbacks pass first versus run first in the old days.
It used to be run, set up the pass. Now it's pass to set up the run.
Exactly.
All right. Now, Cowboys got a new big 3. They had the big 3 back in the day. They had Aikman, Smith, who just mentioned Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin. Now this big 3, you got Romo, you got Murray, and you got Bryant. So
go 4 and add Witten in there.
Oh yeah, Witten.
Add Witten in there, yeah.
And then this guy Escobar got a couple of touchdowns the last few weeks. But the thing is about the Cowboy. Here's the thing about the people don't understand about that. Their defense is so much better than they were. Oh, yeah. This is the same. They got the same offense. The guys, the same guys, but this defense is much better, and they're playing much better, and that's what's making them win right now is that defense.
And we talked about it last week. The other thing, Jerry Jones got out of his own way, and so did Jason Garrett. Right. And they said, hey, that guy that wears number 29, let's put the ball in his breadbasket and see what he does with it. We don't have Romo throwing 45, 50 times a game. And you look around the league, even Peyton Manning, we're just talking about him and Tom Brady. They're not going out throwing it, that many times a game. They realize, hey, we got to get the run game set up. That's why, the Broncos have like 3 or 4 running backs. Last year they had Moreno, Hillman.
Right.
I can't even think of the other guys' names. You saw guys on the sideline playing paper, rock, scissors to see who's going to go in and get the carry.
Right.
And so, you're going to have to still have, some kind of consistency in that. And that's what Dallas has done. DeMarco Murray, the only guy to ever have 7 straight games of 100 yards running to start the season.
That's crazy.
And 6-1 because of it.
And Jay, and if I'm Tony Romo, I'm loving it because he's doing a couple things. First of all, you keep my butt off the ground because I ain't getting hit, I ain't getting taken down. I can take 2 or 3 steps back and hand it off. And if I need to pass it, then I'm going to get into a passing play or a situation where I got to go up top or to a wide out. But majority of the time, I know I'm going to let my running back carry the load for me, man. The defense come on, do their thing. I'm right back on the field. I'm injury, reducing my injuries. And now here comes the end of the season. I'm ready for playoffs.
And now something that is close to Tony and our heart is the Bears and how bad they're doing. And they're fighting now. And
Marshall blaming everybody down.
Yeah, except himself. And then got Chris Long. Well, not Chris Long, whatever the
Kyle
name.
Long.
Kyle Long. Talking about the fans. And then they said that when they were in there before the reporters went in, that they heard yelling and screaming in the locker room. And and all in all, Jay Cutler's still looking like whatever.
Scott, you know as well as I know, baby, being from there. You play in New York, you play in Chicago, you gonna get it.
Yeah,
if
by
you
the
ain't
reporters.
Coming with it,
yeah,
you gonna get.
Right.
Fans don't care.
Nah.
At the end of the day, it's about W's in them two cities off the bat.
Right.
Not that the other cities don't look, but in those two cities, you gonna get talked about if they see you in a restaurant. They gonna let you know off the top.
Right.
Hey man, you a buster, man. You betrayed.
Yeah.
And that's just how they are. And once again, it's hard because I've said it all along. Not that the SEC quarterbacks can't perform and do a good job, but every time we've had an SEC quarterback in Chicago, I don't know if it's the weather, I don't know what the situation, but they just don't perform well with the Bears.
Well, I think he's colorblind. He's throwing a bunch of interceptions, and and then the defense. I mean, they give him 27 points to the Miami Dolphins at home. And the one thing that people don't understand is the Bears are winless at home right now.
Right.
That's crazy. That's unheard of, as far as the Chicago Bears are concerned. Another thing that is something that was a headline that went on, the anti-Kaepernick headline. Terrence Knight of the Broncos admitted that he used a racial slur during the game. They got this new rule now that if a referee here, you do a racial slur or use the N-word or call somebody a name that's not, that may be homophobic, they're going to fine you and they're going to throw the flag at you. Terrence Knight said, well, Kaepernick against the Bears said, I didn't say anything. That wasn't me. But then Terrence Knight said, yeah, I said it. What up? I paid the fine. I said it. How hard now, a lot of us have been on the playing fields or the basketball court and, things are being said and your manlyhood is being questioned and all that. How difficult is this new rule that the NFL has that you can't use these certain words now?
It's a silly rule. And like Richard Sherman said, it's pretty silly because it singles out kind of you can't call a rule racist, but it is there's some kind of weird line that they're walking with kind of racial issues with it. But that being said, it's a rule.
Yeah.
And you have to know going out there that's one of those things you have to put in the back of your head. It may be something I say 6.5 days a week, but for 3 hours on Sundays I can't be saying that word. And again, it's silly, but that's one of those things. Once you put the helmet and shoulder pads on, you gotta say, let me turn that switch off and call them something else. Call them, if you say MF, I think they look at you and say, don't say it again. But no flags are thrown.
Yeah, but it's hard, Scott, because that goes into. Are we becoming that society that no matter what anyone says now,
real sensitive.
We're going to be just on it. That bleeds into the sports report overseas that talked about the Williams sisters and called them.
Right.
When you play them, you're playing two men. He said he was joking about it, and he was basically saying because they're so big, so muscular, and they both 6 foot tall.
It's really a compliment. This is trying to say, but
exactly.
But people took it the wrong way.
Took it the wrong way. So once again. These guys out in the football field, that's like me and Jay back in the day, we played catch a man, kill a man in the backyard.
Yeah.
If he break a tackle, I may call him anything,
Yeah.
But like Jason said, now is that business. They tighten everything up. I was listening to a show the other day, Scott, they were saying where Jordan used to call 2 or 3 days ahead, and talk to the best player on the team that they're about to play. And get in his head so bad, and would cuss him out, call him all type of names, just for him to snap, and they were ready to kill Michael, literally kill him. But he wanted everybody night in, night out to bring their best game. He didn't feel like showing up to play because he knew, hey, I'm gonna give you 30, 40 tonight.
Right.
So, what we coming to with this society, man? I don't know.
Yeah, Seattle, Percy Harvin, they made a trade this last week with the Jets and surprised a lot of people, but then after everything started coming out, you said, "Oh, that's why they did it." They traded Percy Harvin. Percy Harvin was a cancer basically in the locker room. I hate using that word, but that's
cancer and a black eye. Apparently.
Yeah. They gave a local guy, Golden Tate, a black eye right before the Super Bowl, and Michael Robinson, who's not playing for the Seattle Seahawks anymore, said he broke it up, and he's had altercations with other players on the team like Baldwin and all that, and they got rid of him. And of course, he's very much injury prone. You've seen that. House is, and then they turn around, they lose the game yesterday to the St. Louis Rams, who was playing, on 6 days. They played on Monday night, and they come in, Seattle loses them. Is Seattle in trouble?
Yep. I think San Fran too.
Oh,
and that's the reason I don't think they are in trouble, because as crazy strong as the NFC West was last season, Arizona got off to a good start, but it's Arizona. We've seen them. I think a couple seasons ago they went out to 6-0 and finished the season.
8-8 or something.
Yeah, something like that. And my 49ers, they're struggling. They without Patrick Willis and Bowman right now, but the NFC West isn't as tough as it was. And Coach Carroll, he's a good guy. He's gonna get things wrapped around. You never hear anything about friction coming out of there. I don't want to believe there's friction going on between Harbaugh and the locker room there, but it's been way too many times that it's come out now that there's only so many times you can yell. There's smoke without seeing fire.
Right.
And so now you're kind of looking, saying, maybe some guys are saying, all right, coach, yeah, that's cool. We'll take care of this on our own. But for that reason, I don't think the Seahawks are in too much trouble. I think they're definitely going to finish the season with a winning record. They'll make it to the playoffs. And, again, you know what goes on once you get in the playoffs now.
Right. And, like you said about Coach Harbaugh, I think he's checked out. He's ready to go. He's already signed that new contract. He's just finishing out this pro, jump back to this college game, and and right now San Fran just trying to rally everything they can rally right now to have a complete season without going haywire. But Seattle, they're up and down. I mean, they win in one weekend against good teams, and they come back and the teams they should beat, they losing.
Lost 2 in a row. They lost to Dallas last week, lost to St. Louis this week. Of course, San Francisco yesterday. I mean, I don't know if the 85 Bears could have beat Denver yesterday, how high they were on both sides of the ball with trying to get Peyton Manning that record on national TV. Right. But they laid an egg, and Peyton Manning, people were talking all that week, and please, if you're gonna play against Peyton Manning, don't talk bad about it.
No.
They were talking about who would you rather game plan against, Colin Kaepernick or Peyton Manning? Everybody talking about Colin Kaepernick, and that just was another level. It's like, wait a minute, I'm about to break this record, and y'all talking about some guy, some guy that hasn't won anything really,
right?
And that took it to another level. And then I'm sure that Peyton Manning's in the locker room telling his boys, look, they said that you can't game plan against him.
And
telling
look
the dudes on defense.
On the sideline, Scott. Whose record was he chasing? His own general manager.
Right. So it was just an amazing thing, and but Seattle, to me, they, out of the two teams you talked about, Seattle and San Francisco. San Francisco, think about this: they have a lot of injuries. Jason mentioned that. A lot of turmoil, a lot of guys. Now think about this: they got 2 linebackers out. They're starting 2 linebackers that are upper level linebackers. You also have Alton Smith out. So on the defensive side, you're gonna get better. They have probably the best wide receiver core in the league. So I think that they're gonna right the ship. Again, Arizona's not gonna just run away with it like it looks like they're gonna do. But both of the teams right now, they struggle a little bit, but I can't see them struggling for the whole year. That's how good of a team they are. You have some teams that are going to struggle because they don't have the players, but these guys have the players that's going to get them out of that struggle and do better. So let's move on to college talk. And 4 out of 5 teams from one division, not just one conference, one division of the SEC are the top 4 out of 5 teams. Only team that's not in the top 5 that's not in the SEC is Florida State. How dominant is that conference or that division?
I think it says for itself when you look at the top 10. 5 teams in the SEC. Half of the top 10 belongs to FCC.
Yeah.
The 4/5, 80% of the top 5 belong to one division of the SEC. And like we said, that looks great right now. Everybody, SEC. The bad thing about it is everybody's going to have to start beating each other because Alabama still has to play Mississippi State. Mississippi State and Ole Miss still have to play each other. Yeah. I believe Auburn has to play one of the teams.
Alabama.
And you start looking at it, I think Auburn also has to play Mississippi. No, they have to play Ole Miss still. So, 2 of those teams are going to wind up with 2 losses.
Yeah.
And, we like to say, as much as the committee is going to keep saying the best 4 teams go in.
No way.
somebody's going to end up undefeated, and they're going to look and say, yeah, Alabama's pretty good, but they lost twice.
And, Jason, I think I'm going to go back to a week or so ago, and your pick looks excellent now because I'm a Big Ten guy all the way, and there's nowhere in the world Michigan State don't get ranked as high as they are. And now you give or take a week or two, and if they win another couple weeks, then Michigan State's going to slide in that second, third, fourth
People
slot
start beating each
because
other.
that SEC, they're going to fall off, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
It's just an amazing college football weekend. Everybody thought Alabama was dead. Texas A&M came to town and got boat raced. You know, and then, you know, people are talking about, well, maybe UT is going to do something over, and Ole Miss.
If I'm Butch Jones, and, you know, I'm sure he's got pride and, you know, brick by brick. Hey, this week, you go out and exude all the confidence to your team, but inside you are praying that Nick Saban has a little bit of mercy in his soul.
Right, and then you saying to yourself, Scott, like, at what point, I know in basketball season as a coach, I told my kids after fall break, man, you're no longer a freshman. So in football games, when do you stop saying I'm loaded down with freshmen?
There you go. You can't. They keep saying it every week.
Every week,
all offensive line are all freshmen. You know, they got a freshman running back. You know, their problem and the issue is they don't have an athlete at quarterback. Worley is just terrible to me, and you know, it's got to be somebody in that school that's better than Worley. I just haven't seen it yet. He's not doing, you know, the thing. And I watched that game on Saturday. First time I really watched the whole game by Tennessee at UT, and they just didn't offensively. They didn't defensively. The A.J. Johnson and the guy from Clarksville, Reeves Maben, are some players that they're probably two best linebackers in the state. And I'm talking about the Titans included. Those two guys are the two best linebackers I've seen at UT in a long time. And they had Al Wilson in them back in the day.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you keep putting your defense out there, it's not, you know, you can't sustain a drive. I don't care who you putting out there. They're gonna, and of course they don't have any depth right now. But in the first half they stayed in it for a while, but after a while they just started wearing them down, and that was it. But Alabama,
they went to the pass game. I looked at like 2-3 series. They had when they had Mississippi down 3-0. They played them very well.
Right.
Mississippi threw the ball up top, won like a 60-70 yard pass, scored right away, went up 7-3. Then all of a sudden, instead of punching the ball back down, if I'm playing you and I know you're an up-tempo team, I'm gonna try to slow you down as much as I can.
But the key, if you are an underdog in any, I don't care what level you're playing, I don't care if it's Pop Warner up to pros, is to get the game to the fourth quarter.
Right.
You know, you keep running the ball. You know, if you're down by, you know, a couple of scores or whatever, you keep running the ball because when you get to the fourth quarter and you're close, you're down by one or even, you know, a couple of scores, you're still in it. So, but you just don't just go away from the run and do that, because one of the things that the run does, it keeps the clock going.
Right.
And once the clock keeps going, you know, you can get to that. You can get to the fourth quarter. But yeah, Tennessee is going to be. They go who they are, who they thought they are, who we thought they were. You know, but I'm excited about to see how bad Alabama's going to get. Of course, my executive director at my job, he's a big time Alabama fan, so he's running around there already with his red on, and folks put their orange away on my job right now because I think it's going to get ugly, early and often.
Yeah, again, you know, 59-0 against a high-powered Texas A&M offense.
Yeah.
And like you said, UT's had some pretty bad struggles on the offensive side of football. And again, you know, I'm Coach Saban. You know, he's a guy who already has a fire burning internally, and then, you know, he looks for anything to get upset about. And when people said that, you know, they were upset that they only beat Arkansas 14-13.
Right.
I'm sure he yelled at everybody in the locker room, even though he said he was happy to see those kids win. He probably yelled at everybody that night and said, you know, they want to see us beat somebody. We're going to go beat Texas A&M. And he may say, well, you know, you guys only scored one touchdown in the second half, and UT may have to take a couple on the chin this weekend.
Right. And get back to Alabama ball.
Right.
All right. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. We come back. Somebody that Jason really cares about, too.
My guy.
Ladarius Van Leer. Scat Back is going to be calling it back in here on the Bench Press. We'll be right back.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I'm 19 years old, and this is how I live united. I've always been kind of a computer geek, and I found a way to use those skills to help the homeless in my community. For people facing hard times, computer skills and a basic resume are so important. It may seem like a small thing, but it makes a huge difference in people's lives. So with United Way, I created a program where I work with the homeless. Together, we go through their whole job history, write a resume, and then save it on their very own USB drive. We provide workbooks and training certificates. I even budgeted for cupcakes so we can celebrate as a class when one of our people gets a job. That's huge. When somebody says, "Hey man, that job that you helped me apply for, I got it." That's what Living United feels like to me. My name is Dale Pazinski. I help people achieve financial independence. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is Scott Wallace, and listen to Hour of Power, the Benchpress Sports Show.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm so glad we left that stupid party.
No joke.
Hey, baby, are you an overdue library book? Because you got fine written all over you.
Oh, barf. What about that girl with the hoop earrings?
Ridiculous. When she was dancing...
Megan, look out! Look out!
Oh my God, Becky. Becky, are you okay? My arm. I think it's broken. Can you bend it? It's already bent. In the wrong direction. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry. I only had a few drinks. I was just buzzed.
Really? Just buzzed?
Yeah, I swear.
Well, in that case, my arm is fine. Ah, that's better.
You're really okay? You're serious, Becky?
No, genius. I'm not serious.
Ow! My arm, it hurts.
Buzzed driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
This is Nnamdi Asamoah. I play football for the Philadelphia Eagles, but what I do off the field with United Way might be more important. I'm a volunteer tutor and mentor. Why? Because over 1 million kids a year drop out of school, and that's not okay. It takes 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes about the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be me, or it could be you. Studies show that if we get to these kids earlier, their chances are better, and kids who read well by 3rd grade are more likely to graduate. So join me in United Way. Suit up and take the pledge. Become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, because when a child succeeds, we all succeed. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Take the pledge at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way, the Ad Council, and the National Football League.
And we're back here on the bench press. Guess we can't catch up with Scat Cat. He's in practice right now. Of course, Darius Van Leer, we just named the OVC Special Teams Player of the Year for the 2nd time this season. Of course, he's a graduate of Maplewood High School. We got a couple of Maplewood. I got it, grind, won't stop. The 2 ACIDs, and then also Jason Sells. And Van Leer's doing his thing, and he's about 5 foot nothing and 100 and nothing, and just running past people. If you go on YouTube and you want to see somebody outrun an angle, go on there and watch this game that he played the other day, Saturday against Eastern Kentucky on on a 70-yard kickoff return, a punt return. The guy had the angle on him, and I've seen it a couple of times when he's done this, but I saw especially at Maplewood, but I thought, it's high school, maybe he went the wrong angle. This is a college guy that should know his angles on the football field, and Van Leer outran the angle. Of course, we wanted to get him on the phone to talk a little bit about it, but we're going to go ahead and move on with the show. Tennessee State University, on the campus of Tennessee State University, and Jason, you were at the game Saturday. They took their third loss in a row, and they talk about resetting their goals for the remainder of the season because they were in the playoffs last year, not this year. It doesn't look like they're going to do that. What is going on over here at Hale Stadium? They lost 3 in a row, 2 at Hale Stadium.
And I actually didn't go to the game, and a little bit glad I didn't go to this one either because – again, like when you told me they had lost, I was like, man, they're slumping at the wrong time.
Right.
We know they got into the playoffs with a pretty good record last year, got a playoff win, and I'm assuming that was probably the main goal was probably to bring home a championship. But 4-4, and we know how it is in the FCS. That's all right. That's an all right record. You finish the season at 8-4, and that's probably still may not get you into the playoffs just because you got to look at the competition around the country. It's not. You're not just looking at the OVC record. They're not going to just go off of that. No. And especially when you've got the Northern Illinois team, not Northern Illinois, Southern Illinois, they have to go through.
Right.
And it's a bad time to get into a slump. If you're going to lose early, get it out the way instead of trying to make it back.
And, it's just a great thing that, that they did last year. And a lot of expectations from this year. And we're just really upset about this because we really wanted to see we were talking 2 weeks ago about having a game in a hole in the playoffs, but it looks like we're not going to have that. And speaking of TSU, got a guy just walked in here. We on his campus, and so he asked could he be on the show. And, of course, this is his campus. So, of course, we say yes. The new head coach of the Tennessee State University Tigers men's team, Dana Ford, is in the house. And Dana, welcome to your campus, I guess.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Dana Ford, we're excited about this year with you. I was at one of your practices and saw the guys out there. Pretty much a whole new team. I think you got one returner from this year. Talk about some of the guys. I saw you got a really big guy down low. Talk about some of the guys that you're going to look for this year to do some things, do some damage this year on the basketball court.
Yeah, we do have 12 new players. Jay Harris is the only returner, who's a senior, 5'11" guard. One of our newcomers that you're referring to is Big Chima. He's a 6'10", 290-pound freshman who's got a couple years to go before he develops into, hopefully a dominant player for us.
Yeah.
Some of the other guys who will probably play right away, Marcus Roper is a 6'4", 2-guard who really shoots it well. Charles Tucker is 6'1" point guard from East Lansing, Michigan, who will look to play a little bit. So we've got a lot of new guys this year, and we're just trying to mix them all in as soon as we can.
Coach, talk a little bit about, it's one thing when you got to bring together a program and you got guys come from all over. How hard have these guys been working preseason so far, and how quickly you think they'll be able to pick the system up?
Yeah, if you ask them, man, they probably the hardest they've ever worked in their life. Yeah, we've been working pretty hard. We practice every morning around 6 a.m.
Wow.
And then we come in on the weekends as well and practice around 12 o'clock. But it's going to take a while. It's like having 13 freshmen. And anyone that knows anything about college athletics, freshmen, they normally take a while to develop and grow into what you want. But everyone's attitude, for the most part, has been great. We try to create a lot of adversity in practice and just trying to simulate, life on the road and some of our bigger opponents that we're going to face. But they're doing okay. They're coming along slowly but surely. We've been practicing for 3 weeks, I guess now, about 4 days a week, and we've already got in over 20 set plays. So they're picking it up okay.
Who's right now looking like they're going to probably be that leader for you this year?
Well, you look at Jay Harris. He's the only guy who's played any Division I basketball as a leader. Cha-Cha Tucker has some leadership qualities.
I like that name.
Yeah, Charles Cha-Cha Tucker.
Got one of my guys from St. Rita.
Yeah. He's a recruit, so we can't really talk about him.
See, try to get him in trouble. I totally try to get your job, Dave.
Yeah, but Darion Reddick has been really good. He's another freshman from Belleville, Illinois.
Yeah.
And we got a young. We have to be the most inexperienced team in the country. We got one returner.
Right.
So
Big Blue Madness this Thursday. How excited! Can we come on out and check it out, Coach?
Well, it was actually this.
Oh, it was
past.
we missed it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh,
how'd it go?
It was great. You know, our guys scrimmaged a little bit. We just laid back, let them play a little street ball, and it was a dunk contest, and we had a little shootout, but it was good.
Who won the dunk contest?
Zach Lee, who's another freshman.
Yeah,
6'8" freshman.
Yeah, I saw
Pretty
him.
athletic. Yeah,
light-skinned kid.
Yep.
Yeah, I say he's a good kid. Now Tony and I are going to be here. We plan to. Well, I might not be here.
A lot of
them. November 14th against Reinhardt. A buddy of ours is the assistant coach over at Reinhardt University, Jay Smith, former coach at Fisk University. We're going to be in the house, and then the second game of the year. You got 4 games in a row here in Nashville. The second game is going to be against Southern Illinois, a team that Tony's very familiar with, and a team that really Tony's familiar with is the Fisk University Bulldogs will be in here November 20th. And then you go to Vanderbilt to play against go to stay in Nashville to play against Vanderbilt. How excited are these guys about playing against the caliber of teams that you're going to be playing against these first 4 games?
You know, I think they're pretty excited. It probably didn't really matter who we're playing. They're all new to Division I, so they're just looking forward to playing. But we've got some tough teams early, especially obviously Vanderbilt is from the SEC, and they do a great job. But Southern Illinois Carbondale is in the Missouri Valley.
Yeah.
And I came from that league last year. It's going to be a very physical game. And some people are picking them to be preseason number 3 in the Valley. So those 2 games will definitely be tough. And then obviously Fisk will be a hard game because it's a rival.
Right.
And then, the first game of the year against Reinhardt, we don't really know what we have yet. And none of our guys have played under the lights. So it'll be interesting early.
Also, you got Virginia on your schedule. MTSU, TSU, TCU, all these T's in there. And before you get even into your conference schedule, how important, Lipscomb also, how important how playing against caliber teams like this to get you ready for your conference?
Very important. If you want to win the Ohio Valley, you've got to, play at a high level. Obviously, Murray State and Belmont, Morehead State, Eastern Kentucky all have really good teams this year. And you just use the non-league to kind of figure out what type of team you have, what you're good at, what you're not so good at, and then maybe try to get some confidence going early on in the year. But we've got to continue to schedule the way we have this year just to be able to simulate what we're going to have in the league play.
Yeah, and I know, Coach, you just talked about Scott was talking about Midnight Madness. Do you think some of this is getting out of hand? I mean, I saw Tubby riding on the motorcycle and fall off of it, man. Drake up at Kentucky shooting air balls, man. I mean,
well, it's all for the fans. That's what it's all about, and whatever brings the excitement.
Did he get you back on the court playing this year?
I actually came out of my suit and had on a jersey, and I did the dunk contest this year.
Okay.
So yeah, I looked just as bad as Tubby falling off the motorcycle. So, but anything to generate some type of interest in your program and get people excited.
This is your second time around here at TSU. You're not a new guy. You know your way around here and all that good stuff. How excited are you about being back here having the head job now?
Very excited because, when I look at Tennessee State University, I look at a tradition-rich program that probably hasn't fared as well as it should have the last 15, maybe 20 years. I think there's only been a couple winning seasons in that time span. And for me, that's just unacceptable. When I was here as an assistant coach, we built this thing up, and we were one possession away from going to the NCAA tournament.
Right.
And that's kind of what I expect. So I'm very excited about the opportunity. Yeah. And we've got some unbelievable history. John McClendon was a direct disciple of James Naismith, who invented basketball.
Yeah.
That's who our court's named after.
Yeah.
There's only 2 people in the entire world that have 2 courts named after him, John McClendon and Pat Summitt.
Wow.
So, I mean, if you think about that in itself gives you unbelievable history. Then we were the first school to ever win 3 national championships in a row.
And Dr. Dick Barnett made us know that he came on the show last year. He told us about that.
Absolutely. Him and Al Sharpton will be here on campus this Thursday talking about those teams. And, I mean, this university as a whole, football, basketball, from the education side, we've got unbelievable history.
Track.
And all we have, track. Yeah. I mean, so we just have to kind of revive that basketball history. All the other programs have been doing a pretty good job lately. kind of getting back to their winning ways, and that's basically what our goal is.
Well, Coach, I'm inviting you now. I want you to ride around with me a little bit around Nashville to these high school games, because I want some of these guys to see who you are, some of these coaches to they already know you a little bit, but let you know there's some great talent here in the Nashville area. And I don't know if you know that, but we're going to be the flagship station for Columbia State University, where Brian Collins is the coach, and there's some guys on there that may be able to help you along the way. So we want to be we want to help you out and just get you into some of these schools and be doing that, because we want to fill up the Gentry Center, and I want you to be able to do that while your tenure here at TSU.
Absolutely. We're going to recruit local players. We're going to recruit high school, junior college, overseas, Division I transfer. It really doesn't matter to us. We just want to try to get the best possible players.
Right. And this city, now you're in the OVC conference. Of course, you got Belmont. That's in this city too, in the conference too. But I've always said about the OVC, even in football and in basketball, you have the biggest city in the conference and one of the cities that people would love to be playing for. How important is to have the arena that you have, and also selling Nashville to people overseas and all that? How important is that to your recruitment?
I think it's very important. Nashville, the city, is one of our big recruiting pitches that we make. It's a great family town, place to live. It's a great place to be after you finish playing college ball. There's a lot of opportunities here. And then it's easy to get in and out. We got the airport here, and we also have other means of transportation. But and then again, it's not one of those smaller towns. Not knocking on them. I came from a smaller town,
right.
But just the lifestyle here in Nashville is a little bit better than most of your OVC cities. And then in terms of our facilities, we feel like we have some of the better facilities in the league. We definitely have facilities good enough to win. We could always use bigger and better, but everybody can say that. But we know that we have all the right things in place to win. What we have to do is create a winning culture. Winning is more of a mindset than anything, and it's just what you accept on a day-to-day basis that determines winning more than any other thing. So that's kind of what we're trying to build right now.
That's good. Looking at the conference too, Coach. Who you think right now, from preseason to probably the dark horse, is going to probably be pretty good in the conference this year?
I don't really know. All I can do is go by what everybody else is saying. Everybody's saying Murray State's going to be really good.
Yeah.
I didn't see them last year. They're always going to be good.
Right.
Belmont's always going to be good. We did play Morehead State last year, Illinois State, and they seem to have some guys coming back as well as some Division I transfers. And then Eastern Kentucky has done a great job the last 3 years, so I wouldn't expect anything else besides that. So after those four, I know that SEMO's got some talent. Tennessee Tech supposedly has some good players returning. And then there's some other schools. UT Martin's got a new head coach. I know that they recruited a lot of good players. And you just never know. That's why you play the game. So we actually have our OVC Media Day tomorrow. I anticipate us being picked dead last. I think it's already out.
Right.
But,
you want that, don't you, Coach?
It doesn't matter if you pick first or last.
Yeah.
We don't practice the same way. So, but it's a little extra, motivation for some of these inexperienced guys where you're always trying to find ways to motivate them. But you got to play the game. And the team that's picked first could easily finish last if they don't come out and play.
Well, I watched the practice, Tony. He practices better than you do. I'm letting you know right now. Well, Tony only had like 7 players last year.
And I was picked there last, and then I'm having the best record they were there. So,
and they won a conference, conference tournament game last year and all that. So there you go. But the motivation that you guys have, coming out, I'm sure people picking you last and all that. Like you said, it doesn't matter. But I think that's something that a billboard can you put up in the locker room to show the guys to make them more intense. Is that something that you think you want to do, or what do you think about that, Coach?
I guess you could do it one day to help some of these guys, but we don't really ever talk about winning and losing. We just talk about, how you go about playing the right way and appreciating the opportunity that you have. And then we have standards amongst ourselves, expectations that they have to live up to. And if those things turn into wins, that's great, which I anticipate them to turn into wins. But, you can only go back to you were picked dead last for so many times. I mean, these guys have got to want to win, not because they were picked last,
right,
just because they want to win. And the thing with the inexperienced team is they have to, number one, buy in to what you're selling because they've never worked this hard. Even if they're working as hard as they ever have, they're still not working hard enough yet.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to get them to realize. But we're not going to pay too much attention to the preseason ranking because we wouldn't pay too much attention to it if we were picked first.
Right.
And so, we're just going to go about our business this year just like we would hopefully next year when we are preseason.
Well, I know you're a high energy guy. I know that. I know that if this team can get that energy with them and carry that motivation into the season and continue to work as hard as they are, I have no doubt they're going to surprise a few folks this year.
Well, I hope so, because that's the plan.
25 days until Reinhardt comes in and takes and comes in and plays TSU. 11-14 is going to be the game, and we're excited about that. Of course, Dana being here before, he knows his way around this school. He knows the way around the OVC. It's going to be exciting times here at TSU. Once you have this young team, you never know what's going to happen. Ball bounces a different way or whatever. They don't know. One thing about being a freshman, you don't know some stuff. You go in blindly. So it's going to be. I believe we're going to have some upsets this year. I think that you're going to surprise some people. But Coach, we're going to make sure that we're going to be there for you, and anything that you need, just let us know, man.
I appreciate that.
Hang around a little while. We're going to go into something we call free weight. And free weight is we ask the questions and we see what you have to say. We're going to find out we know basketball a lot. We're going to find out what you know about some other sports. Is that all right?
That's fine.
All right. So free weight is our last segment is on here, and we appreciate you coming in, Coach. Free weight. Now, we talked a little bit about this earlier. We're going to let Jason go first. We talked about the Peyton Manning record. At 5-10 touchdowns, he just took over the record from Brett Favre. And nobody thought he could get that record. Now the question is, do you think his record will be broken after he retires? Whatever it is.
No, nobody's gonna get to it. I think it ends up in the 600s, and I don't think anybody gets to.
All right, Tony.
I don't think so. If it is, it's gonna be a long. I have a big beard, gray beard, probably a cane by that time. I don't think no one's gonna catch that anytime soon.
Coach, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm the same as these guys. I don't think anybody can catch it because he's still throwing touchdowns every Sunday. I mean, like last night.
Yeah.
And I don't watch it a lot, but it just looks so easy for him.
Man, yeah.
As long as he continues to play the way he is, I mean, that number's just going to get higher and higher and higher. And the thing about it, when Brett Favre was on his tear, you could kind of see Peyton Manning was a young superstar quarterback that threw touchdowns. And I just don't know who that next guy could be.
They say Andrew Luck, but I don't know.
No.
He's going to need a lot of luck.
There you go. Second question, another football question. Will Percy Harvin, he's been traded to the New York Jets, and the Jets have been struggling a little bit. Will he make an impact with the Jets, Tony?
I think he will. I think right now the Jets are looking for anybody right now that can, that's going to help him out, and I think he's going to make an impact to him.
All right, Jason?
He'll make an impact to some extent, but that was the purpose of bringing Chris Johnson up there, to get a speedy guy, the ball in his hands, and we see how that's gone so far. When you got no knock on Geno Smith, but he's still not playing at the level he needs to for them to have success. And if he can't get the ball in Percy Harvin's hands, it's not going to matter how fast he is.
All right, Coach.
Yeah, he'll make an impact. I don't know if it's going to be positive or negative, but he's definitely going to make an impact. He's a very talented player, and it kind of caught me by surprise that he would be let go. So there's obviously more to it than what we really know. But, it's going to be his decision whether he wants to positively affect that organization or if he wants to go in there and do some of the same things that people have mentioned about him, prior to his being traded. So I hope he turns it around. I'm a huge Chris Johnson fan, so I need those guys to start winning.
You're about the only one that is a huge Chris Johnson fan. Chris is a Chris Johnson fan too. So no, not anymore. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, last question. Another football question. Of course, we always ask this question every week since it's a Monday night. Who will win the game tonight? Houston at Pittsburgh. Now, remember this. Here you go. Now everybody's saying Houston. Tony.
I'm taking Pittsburgh at home, man.
Yeah.
I like. Hey, right now, last couple weeks, Coach, I done took two and almost had that Notre Dame Florida State the other night. So I'm keeping the Steelers at home right now, baby.
Coach.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the home team. I don't even know how these two teams are doing this year, but
Houston.
Is Houston doing good?
They're doing pretty good. They got a pretty
Last
good
year
defensive
they were
end.
awful.
Yeah. They got a pretty good defensive end.
I'm gonna pick the home team, Steelers.
Jason, the Nostradamus.
I hate saying it, but I'm going to go with Pittsburgh because I don't want to see Houston win. But Ryan Fitzpatrick plays quarterback for Houston.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. He figures it out how to lose. What you think, Chris?
I'm going to be biased. I don't like Houston, so I'm going Pittsburgh.
All right, everybody say Pittsburgh. Tiffany, you going to say Pittsburgh too?
Yeah.
All right, Tiffany says Pittsburgh too. Nah, okay. But they're going to be at, of course. You going with Houston? Okay. Well, it's another show, you all. We're going to wrap it up now. Thank you to everyone who called in. Of course, Bridget Goodnight of Columbia State University. Also, Brian Penny Collins called in. We missed some guys. Brian Waite was a little bit busy today.
Coach, drink the tea and get your voice together.
And also, Scat Cat didn't call in. Ladarius Van Leer, we know that he had a great game last week, but we appreciate everybody calling. Appreciate Coach Dana Ford stopping in, coming in, talking a little bit about TSU basketball. We hope it's not the last time he talks to us. And we're going to, well, what are we supposed to do? Facebook and all that?
Get on Facebook and type in WTN Tribune and then click like on every page that comes up.
All of them.
And Scott, don't forget about these Blackhawks and Predators coming on Wednesday night, baby. Thursday night, rather.
Thursday night, and then the Predators playing tomorrow night. Of course, remember 2016, the NHL All-Star Game be here. But we're out.
I gotta grind, won't stop, hustle won't quit.